Hey everyone, it's Ashley Cunningham here, and I'm really excited to be channeling Ernest Hemingway. He is an American writer who is just amazing. I don't know if you've heard of him, if you've studied him. Most Americans study Ernest Hemingway in our literature or English classes throughout middle school and high school. He is a very unique writer, and he had a very unique voice. And I've always been fascinated with his work. I like the fact that he distilled really big concepts and distilled moments into, he could do that in just a few sentences and impart all of the feeling and all of the descriptors that you would need to put yourself in the position of the main character in his novels. And I, as someone who enjoys writing, I haven't done it in a while, but I do really enjoy writing stories. I always admired that in his work, and I always aspired to have that within my own work, trying to be really succinct and very exacting to bring across the emotions or the ideas that I wanted to have my readers experience. So when my friend she sent me a video of Ernest Hemingway. It was like a documentary. It's recently posted on YouTube. I can put a link in the description box because it's actually a really good documentary. It's about his life. I didn't really know much about his life, and it was very surprising as to how much he went through so quickly in his youth, and then going into his adulthood. He did a lot. He traveled a lot. He was part of the Great War. He had a lot of trials that he had to face in his own experience, and it was so fascinating to learn about that side of him, his biography essentially about him. And when I was watching the documentary, he came right in and he was chatting me up, hanging out. And so I really felt inspired and asked him if he wanted to come forward and share a message with you guys, and he was all about it. So I have him here now, and I feel him right on the back of my head, going into my lower neck and upper back and coming through to my heart chakra. And he is saying, hello, everyone. It is an honor to be here and to speak with you. I am excited to see that there's so much change taking place upon the face of the earth within each of you. There is so many opportunities to, as this dear one has said, distill a moment within your mind, to be in that moment and use those moments as you move through your life on your path to inspire, to comfort, to guide you in any situation in which you find yourself. He's kind of gesturing to the documentary and my comments about it, and he's saying, she is correct in that I had a very troubled life experience. There were many changes that were happening in my lifetime, many wars, many hardships that people faced, yet there was always beauty. There was always beauty. There was always a sense of connection with the family and the people who were going through the experiences together. We were all in that together. We all were there, and we were only able to survive by moving forward together. And he's saying, while this message is very a call for unity, and he's signifying like a call to reach out to those around you. He's saying, within my lifetime, I struggled with that lesson. I had a hard time connecting deeply with others around me that were also in the same boat. They were all experiencing the same, and maybe not the same way, but they were all experiencing the horrors of war, of famine, of strife, struggling to feed children, struggling to find work, struggling to live a life that, as an American, we're promised prosperity and the ability to pursue whatever our heart desires, whatever that looks like for us in our American dream. And he's saying that that was challenged day in and day out by the experiences that he saw and faced every single day. As a writer, he was a newspaper journalist, and he saw the gore, the underbelly of human society. And this was very troubling. He says, this is very troubling. This was very troubling for me. And as I moved through my life, the moments that I collected kind of chipped away at my mental health, my emotional stability, and I decided to exit on my own. So he committed suicide. That's how he passed. And he's saying that this was not a choice that I took lightly. This was not a choice that I really understood in the grand scheme of my life contract. However, he made the choice and he learned from it. But he is saying, I do not not condone, but he's saying he doesn't encourage or wish anyone to make that choice themselves. He is now supporting a message of unity, of sharing your experience, of reaching out to those around you, especially when you need help, especially when you need mental health support and emotional support, as we are all moving through trying times. And just great times of change. Some people may not have the burdens that others do, he's saying, but we are all noticing the changes and shift in energy. It's building. There are more changes to come. There are more, he's kind of showing me like more global collective consciousness experiences that we are all going to partake in. But he's highlighting that these experiences should not chip away at ourselves, at our souls. He wants each of us to find the courage to reach out and ask for support and help if we need it. And he's now let's turn to happier or lighter topics. He's highlighting that this is, again, a great time of change. It's a great time. It's great in that there are many things to come. It's great in that we have experienced a lot of things already as a group, collective together. But he's saying too, it is great because the energy is opening so many opportunities for us to move forward in a way that resonates with our soul. And he's highlighting his passion around writing. Creation, being in the moment, being in that space of constructing a world, constructing an image, constructing a personality on the page is a very passionate endeavor. It's a very exciting endeavor because then you can impact others to go along with you on a journey that you desire to take. And he's saying, this is important to partake in if you are called to do so. If you are called to do other creative activities or endeavors, please follow your calling. He's really wanting to reach out to those people who are inspired to write. You must live as well as write. You must live and love and experience in order to create a world that can really touch on those experiences and invoke those emotions. And he's saying, ultimately, the living is more important than the writing. But if you can write and help other people live and understand what they're living and going through, that is an ultimate calling. That is a very special gift, and that's a very special thing that you can create. He's now kind of stepping back in the bigger picture perspective of creation and writing in his, in his style. That's what he chose to do with his life experience, was write. And he's saying, I didn't choose it necessarily as it was something that just was of me. He was just a writer. That's who he was. That was part of his identity, as part of who he chose to express himself as. And he's saying that in the bigger picture, if you can create something that can impact even just one person in a positive way, to help them understand a situation in their life, or understand a greater pattern within the reality that we find ourselves in, saying that is a worthwhile endeavor. Hopefully you can impact more than one person, but ultimately only the one person matters. Once that one person has been supported and impacted and you've reached them, everything is easy. Everything is he's kind of showing me like icing on the cake, like it's just all extra. And so he doesn't want you guys to feel pressure if you are called to do writing or maybe art or some sort of creative endeavor. Don't make yourself feel pressure to do it. Just enjoy the ride. Enjoy the flow, the creation, the motivation, and really enjoy the journey of it. And he just wants to share that perspective, share his guidance and opinions on the art of creating or in writing, and a little bit about what's happening right now. I'm asking him if there's anything else that he would like to share. He's saying, if you are a writer, or if you are an aspiring writer, you want to be a writer, if you want to work with him, Ernest, if you want to call him in and connect with him and pick his brain, ask him questions, feel free to do so. He is much more cordial than he was in his real life. He has a lot of, he's kind of joking, he has a lot of more abilities than he did before, and he's signifying that he can be in a lot of different places at once. Time and space is no constraint for him, so he would love to work with anyone that wishes to work with him. And I definitely am going to call on him to support me in my writing. I love his style. To me, it's complex and simple at the same time, and it really is powerful. And that's something I've always been interested in my own writing style. I've always looked for simple, effective, direct. That's how I like to communicate. And I think he really helped shape that perspective or choice in my own writing. As I was learning from him in middle school and high school here in American public schools, he is definitely a staple. And I'm asking him, is there anything else? He's just backing away. So I hope this was a fun little mini video for you guys. I really enjoyed his energy, and like I said, I'm a big fan of him. So I'm definitely going to be calling on him to help me in my work. Yeah, it'll be fun. So if you feel called to speak with him or interact with his energy, you don't even have to want to write or be a writer. You can just call on him to chat if you'd like to get to know him better. I will link the video of the biography or the documentary about him. If you're interested in learning more about his life, feel free to follow that. It's on PBS, on the PBS channel, and it's a really good documentary. So highly recommend it. And thank you guys so much. I hope you have a great day. Channelingwithlove.com if you wish to reach out to me or book a session with me. That's my website. And yeah, talk to you guys later. Bye.